Welcome to the SuperNova podcast. My name is Jannes. I will be your host for this session. And I'm joined here today with Liesbet and Isabel. I will ask you to introduce yourselves. Liesbet, maybe you can start in a few sentences. Who are you?
Yes, I'm Liesbet Boogaerts. I'm from Antwerp, so this is my home city. I'm a commercial engineer and I started my career 25 years ago.
Okay, thank you. Isabel?
My name is Isabel Vermeulen. I live in the rural countryside of Antwerp. I have a technical background, civil engineer in chemistry, and I'm 20 years going on in the business.
Okay, so your backgrounds may already be hinting at what we're talking about today, but you're both related to BlueChem. So maybe explain to me a little bit as an outsider, what is BlueChem and what are you doing there?
So BlueChem is an incubator for sustainable chemistry, which means that we support startups and scale-ups that are developing new technologies for the chemistry of the future. And supporting means that on the one hand, we offer state-of-the-art infrastructure, so they can rent with us a lab or an office. Now, this costs a lot of money, so we can also give some financial support. And more important, we also offer a huge, unique benefit, which is an ecosystem, in which they can grow, which they can use and grow faster. That is really our mission.
Okay. Anything to add, or was that like the perfect 1 minute pitch?
I think that is, in a whole, the perfect 1 minute pitch. But the thing is really how to get that sustainable transition of chemistry off the ground. And we're helping, practical-wise, all these companies to support them in their great journey that they want to start.
Okay, that's clear. Maybe before we dive into the BlueChem details, I'll get some background on the two of you. Liesbet, I saw that you spent 15 years at ExxonMobil before going to BlueChem.
Correct.
In one sentence, what was the biggest culture shock or difference when moving from a global giant company to a startup incubator?
Well, in one sentence, that's a bit hard, but let me state that working for a corporate company really formed me. I mean, it's my backbone. I'm really, really glad that I made this decision when I graduated. But at some point, I mean, the corporate life was also done for me, and I really wanted to go more in entrepreneurial. So for me, going entrepreneurial, more sustainable and closer to home, what was I looking for? And actually, this job, which I've done for 4 years now, it checked all those boxes.
Okay, that's cool. Then Isabel, you have a PhD in chemical engineering and a vast experience at Umicore. Then you moved to consulting at Tomorrow. What's the one thread that connects those different chapters?
The one thread is definitely trying to find a way to have an impact on sustainability, on this transition, on how everything runs. And on the first run, my main goal was to fill a backpack. I always state it like it's a journey. You need to make sure that when you start your career, you see how can I learn, how can I do as much as possible things to really get that interaction in the industry, see how it evolves. And that was my PhD, that was R&D at Umicore. And that was actually also my place in the incubator to really see how we can shape the strategy. From that point on, I really felt like, how can I shape let's say these other strategies in industry, and at this point everything comes together. The background in strategy, along with the background in scaling, it feels like coming home actually. So that's the fun part of it.
That's like a red thread that now ending in some kind of bunch where it's all coming together. It's good.
Yes.
So BlueChem, the cluster is sitting next to the largest chemical cluster in Europe. How often do the big players who reside there, or how often do they come look at what's going on in the startup incubator next to them?
Well, they're quite interested. I think when we started up with BlueChem, our focus group was, of course, startups and scale-ups. But we decided also from the start to really connect them with the established companies because we see that cross-fertilization, the fact that they work together, small and big company, that is a real win. They win both because small companies want the expertise and advice, and the large companies want to see what new technologies are coming on the market. And so combining them both is the win for us, and it really shows that that is a success factor. So yes, they come, they're in our advisory boards, and some of them have an office to meet them formally or informal at our campus.
Okay, so it's not a peek over the wall, but it's almost an embedded working
Correct. And
where
it's
they're
really
looking
important.
to really join forces and make the whole system stronger.
Absolutely.
And this keeps also a focus point for the years to come, because that ecosystem, given the current context, becomes even more important at this point. And that is also what we're emphasizing on, and which is also part of the new building which is coming up, because getting them together as close as possible throughout the whole trajectory is of importance, just to make sure that they can align as much as possible and find their way through this big industry.
Okay, very clear. We're right now here at SuperNova, the festival of ambition and action, innovation. Isabel, what is the most ambitious, maybe slightly crazy or disruptive idea that you've heard in sustainable chemistry startups lately?
Good question, but a challenging one, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because the question is there how to measure up ambition level or craziness level. I actually was in a breakout session yesterday where actually I think Jürgen Ingels literally stated starting up something new venture capital wise in chemistry is already something challenging or crazy. I don't know what he exactly stated, but the thing is, it is already a big leap that you're taking. You need to support yourself. You need to stand on the shoulders of giants in the end, in order to make sure that you're actually using this corporate, using that system in order to succeed, and actually stepping into this system and willing to start up is already ambitious enough. I think.
So those who are bold enough to try are already deserving the recognition
Yes.
of their slightly
Absolutely.
crazy but definitely
Absolutely.
ambitious
Yes.
mindset. Okay, that's a very comforting answer. I was, a little bit curious to what's going on behind the chemistry scenes, but this is a more than satisfying answer. Thank you. Liesbet, when you started in BlueChem back in 22, I think, you said you want to make an impact, you want to be more entrepreneurial, a change of pace. Looking back on that now, what's something that you're proud of that's been done, that's been realized, that you guys did together?
Yes, last year we celebrated the 5th anniversary of BlueChem. And so we were indeed looking back at some nice achievements. First of all, we supported 21 startups from day one, which is already quite an achievement. And altogether, those startups, they raised more than $100 million of capital.
Okay.
We created over 200 jobs and brought together 25 nationalities of talent. That's a big pool of talent that we brought together to Antwerp. And also our first international startups started with us in 2023. So we really want to internationalize more, and that we started up actually during the time that I was there. And then last but not least, last year we won the Grand Jury Prize of the European Commission of the European Enterprise Promotion Award. So that was a nice recognition of the work that we've done.
Okay,
and built.
that's quite a lot of things to be proud of. So that's a very, very good answer. Maybe looking at what's next, you're handing the torch, you're passing the torch to Isabel.
Yes.
What's the one piece of advice that you have not given yet, but probably should give her?
I think I've told her already, and I don't think I even have to tell you, because you're quite familiar in this ecosystem. But listen very carefully to the startups and the scale-ups, and just capture their needs and turn that into actions. I mean, we can really move that needle and really have that impact, and they appreciate a lot that advice. So
Yes, thanks.
there you go.
Okay, great. Isabel, you've helped companies turn long-term strategies, long-term ambition into very concrete strategies at Tomorrow Lab, if I'm right. Now you're going to do more or less the same in BlueChem. What's the first thing you want to tackle there? You want to change, speed up, or what's the first thing you'll do or want to do?
You just got a very impressive list of what has been achieved. Let's be honest on that one. And we need to make sure that we don't throw things that are already there, that are already founded within the roots of that company, that we build upon that one. And that is, I think, the first step. Understanding what is there, understanding what has been built. And from that point on, let's say the transition is already made with the idea, with building, actually with the concept of BlueChem XL. And that will be the main stretch that we need to make, together with building that ecosystem around that industrialization, together with the Port of Antwerp, Bruges, together with the City of Antwerp, and making sure that all these pieces of the puzzle that has been laid very well with by Liesbet, that they bring together, that we bring them together, and that they can all build from there on.
Okay, maybe zooming in on BlueChem XL. It's a big step. It's doubling the lab capacity. It's moving to the next gen districts. You helped lay the groundwork for the 6.3 million investment. And why is it really necessary that it happens now?
Good question. Well, we decided actually a couple of years ago when we were at full capacity. So 2 years in a row, we were at 90% capacity. So there was a real need for extra lab space. And so we've decided to build a new building and to open up more space. Currently, the times are different. Times have changed, and it is more challenging times. But we see no reason to limit the chances for starters. Now more than ever, it is crucial that you innovate, that you invest. And so we said we really have to open up these chances for startups. And it's going to be innovation, and it's going to be innovation that really helps that sector going forward.
Okay.
Yeah. From that point on,
I was also still processing because it's a lot of information, but I get it. So, is there anything you want to add? Because I was just silent for a minute. Or
yes,
not?
No worries. It's really that access towards the port, that also towards the ports, towards the corporates, towards actually that big chemical cluster that we have, that also the startups are looking for. We often see a startup as a sort of a phase that you grow out of very quickly. It is in reality multiple steps, multiple phases, and people need to be able to grow in their own pace, within their own environment. And that is exactly what we can give them, serve them with. You can grow or within the city environment linked to the universities and etc. Or you can scale up with your market exactly at the location where everything is happening. And that is, I think, a very great idea that has been landed, and we need to make sure that we make it happen. Huh?
Correct.
So, yeah, I think my next question is basically that, but I do want to ask you because I think that's the real value of what you're doing with BlueChem XL. But it will be at the next gen demo site in the port, with the first zone being laid in September in a couple of months. Why is it explained to me? Because I've heard a lot of ecosystem and kind of abstract ways to see why it is relevant, but explain to me why the fact that it's in the next gen district there, what makes it so important that we build there?
The harbor is an ecosystem, and okay, it's again that word, huh?
No,
but we need to watch out. The thing is, all these companies, they collaborate together. There is that main infrastructure, there's that main location. It's not something that you can replicate just like nothing. It's something that has grown. I think the video that we got at the start of SuperNova clearly explained that. I should not explain it again, but the thing is, you have that normal and organically growth of the city, of the harbor, and actually giving them that ground, that location, with the infrastructure, with the links. The feedstock is there, the boats are there, everything, and that makes that extra difference if you really want to set up your own business. It's on the one hand technically that you try to innovate, but also market-wise you need to innovate, and therefore you need that proximity towards your clients, towards your stakeholders, and etc. So if you grow, you need that proximity at a certain point, and we deliver it actually at a quite early stage, to call it like that. And it's a quite unique concept also, because not that much of ports give that opportunity to really grow within their own environment, close to everyone and in full visibility.
And if I may add, we joined forces with the port already also from the start, the Port of Antwerp-Bruges, and we're going to strengthen that relationship. And it's really, really important because we can have a larger sustainable impact if we act as one ecosystem. And that's what we will do. That we've been doing that already so far, but we're going to strengthen that cooperation together.
So it's basically strengthen what works and build upon that.
Voilà.
And,
stronger together.
Yeah, exploit the unique advantage that we have being next to one of the largest sports ecosystems here. Start building in there.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, cool. BlueChem is also very unique in the fact that it helps speeding up the path from university research to real commercial validation and innovation. Why is that bridge from academic to commercial so hard to cross?
There are multiple steps or even drempel. Ik heb hem even niet. Engels.
Hurdles.
Hurdles. Okay.
Okay.
So, heb ik you of ik begin gewoon? Okay. So, yeah, difficult question, but the thing is there are multiple hurdles to take as a startup. And I think, what does it make so difficult? You are at university, at a safe place. You work in technical solutions, in technical context. Everything is very solution-oriented, but from that technical viewpoint. And then suddenly you need to build business cases. You need to ask extra financial towards investors. You come across venture capital. You come across all these types of... You need to lay down a funding dossier. You need to do all of these extra, let's say, activities. And that's exactly what we support them with. We support them with an ecosystem, with different partners, actually, that can assist them along that whole journey so that they're not on their own, so that they're not already need to know how exactly their lab needs to look like, that they don't need to know already what kind of funding possibilities that they have, what kind of financial support that they can get, and etc. So that they actually can learn from one another, are supported in every step of the way, and grow from that point on. And I think if you can support them and really get these services in line, then you can actually grow. And that makes that valley of death, as often a lot of people call it, still happening too much. And last but not least, still linked to corporates.
Yes.
As you already stated, valley of death is also you have research and you have corporate. And too often they are not linked, or the distance between both is too large. And that is also what we are trying to limit and make sure.
And that was really the reason why BlueChem exists or got started, because you have great academic research and academic world. And you have the second largest or the largest chemical cluster in Europe, second largest in the world. But there was indeed no bridge between those. So BlueChem is indeed bridging that. BlueChem together with NextGen, and therefore we've also formed an Antwerp innovation ecosystem where every step of the development can be supported, and this is really powerful. If you go abroad, there's nothing like that. It's really unique and powerful because companies can start in whatever phase and get the support they need to really go to commercial.
Okay. It sounds like we've got something quite unique actually on our hands.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm getting excited
We're
about the
proud of that.
future.
We're hoping that.
No, but it's good because that makes you very tangible. Like whatever phase you're in, if you're coming from
Correct.
academic, you're starting up, you're getting more mature. Wherever you are, you can count on the support system of BlueChem and the entire ecosystem to scale up and to speed up whatever you need and to come with network, with support, with labs, with offices, with the industry next door.
Yes.
I think I just pitched BlueChem.
Yes,
Very
But I
good.
was surprising
You
for
go.
myself.
Go for it.
Okay.
It's a one-stop shop accommodated to your needs for startups in chemistry. Yes.
There you go. That's one sentence. Put that on the website and we're good to go.
There you go.
Okay. Maybe to round up a bit or get to some lighter stuff is because we can't keep talking about BlueChem XL for the entire time. Maybe Liesbet, what's a strongly held belief you had about the chemical industry for the 10 years that you worked there or 15 years that your time in BlueChem has changed?
Well, the chemical industry has always been a crucial sector because indeed I worked in it for a long time, but it's even becoming more crucial. It's the building blocks of every sector. So if we make those building blocks more sustainable, the whole value chain is going to be more sustainable. So the impact and the importance of chemistry and the chemical industry is now more than ever important.
So, I mean, I'm working around a lot of startups who are trying to approach sustainability from a certain, I'm not saying top-down view, but from a certain angle. And what you're saying here is that the impact of BlueChem is so vast, so big, because when you become more sustainable from the ground up, everything in that chain gets impacted.
There you go.
Yes. If you use more sustainable feedstock, more sustainable product, everything along the line becomes more sustainable.
Yeah.
And there is very big importance to make sure that these foundations upon which the whole industry is built can actually survive and build upon that transition. Yes.
Okay. Well, then I got a cool question for you, because if you had to start like a sustainable chemistry startup tomorrow with everything you know today, what problem would you start tackling first?
Find myself good partners.
Okay.
That give me great ideas, that solve the things that I am not able to do myself, that make sure that it's not only a great idea in my head, but that it really becomes concrete. As you stated, there are a lot of buzzwords that we can use, but in the end, it is about how do I get the things that are in my head really concrete? How do I bring them to life? And how am I going to make sure that the whole community understands what I'm doing? Aside from that one, to make it practical, you need a lab. You need to start and you need to check, does my great idea actually work? Get you surrounded by people that challenge you, that actually try to see as fast as possible whether it works, and build up from that one. And I think the great place to start is where all these partners are together, where the critical mindset is there, so that you can really set it up.
Okay. So make it real as fast as possible,
Yes.
so that you get challenged, that you get, all the kinks are worked out from as soon as possible,
Yes.
and then you can just
Yes.
go from there. Okay, cool. Liesbet, what will you miss most about the daily chaos of running an incubator with startups and scale-ups and external partners and all the things involved?
I will miss the energy. I mean, looking at those startups, they inspire me so much. They give me so much energy. They are so resilient to everything. I have a lot of respect of what they're doing. It's good that we're helping them, but really the real work is done by them. So yeah, I'll miss the energy if I walk around. But I'm in Antwerp, so I'll pass around sometime and just grab a coffee with Isabel. And yeah, it's good to see that I'm handing over the torch indeed to someone who's really, really capable of moving forward. And I'm very proud of that. Yeah.
So knowing that, what do you look forward to most? The energy as well, or?
Actually, the energy and the inspiration, really to be in an environment where things are built, created, where things are created from zero, and where that people have that ambition, that energy to really say like, yeah, I think it was called also yesterday a marathon or an immense mountain to climb, but look at it and state like, yes, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm willing to do, and support that one. What can be more rewarding than that? I mean,
It's a perfect job.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
For me, it's like we're at SuperNova, which is,
Yes.
I think, a room or a conference hall filled with people who see problems and think, let's go. And I think you're capturing that kind of energy in BlueChem as well, focused on the chemistry and the industry there.
Absolutely.
So that's, I can relate. That's a very nice environment to work in.
Yes.
Maybe to round up for the both of you, a question: when the ribbon is cut on BlueChem XL, when the building is finished in a few years' time, what's won't be tomorrow. What's the one word you hope they will use to describe what's being built there?
I think for me it's the buzzword ecosystem. Yeah, our unique
Maybe an open
ecosystem.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed. But that is our strength, and if we can build that further, that will really put us on the map.
I was going to add unique, but you already did, so thanks for that one. No, we're trying to accommodate one another, but I think it's unique and it's that collaborative spirit. That's what you really want that people see, that people understand that all of these things, you can't do them under your own. You make an idea on your own for once, but then it needs to be spread. It needs to be a virus. And if we can do that one, yeah, that would be lovely.
Mission accomplished.
Okay, so that's what I'm taking away from this podcast. We're building an ecosystem, and that's what it will be in a few years' time at BlueChem XL.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we'll be back.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time to talk to me, to share, a bit of behind the scenes of BlueChem and BlueChem XL and what we can expect for the next couple of years. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the day at SuperNova, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.